How you doing? Saturday the 13th of July 2024 in the year AD. It's my name's irrelevant to anything or anything that moves or walks or talks. You can make up your own name, call me what you like. And in 1988 I was in Glasgow, but in 1987, the previous year, I was in Exeter, which is a long time ago. It's 13 and 24, 37 years ago. And the big album at the time, you have just to get it into perspective, the big sort of technical piece of thing to listen to music to at the time was a Walkman. And a Walkman, if you're 36, you might know what they are, right? But they were like tape players that you could plug a headphones into, and you could stick the walk and would play a thing called a tape. Now if you're 20, you might struggle with a tape. A tape was a cassette that you would put into a thing, and it would play music on a ribbon, an acetate ribbon, and it was recorded onto that from the dub plates that were made on vinyl. Look into it, it's interesting. But in 1987, that was your deal. So a tape was a good thing, and you'd buy an album of music. And there was two big albums at the time. One was The Best of the Police, which had this song that I'm going to perform, or try to perform now. Now, The Police was fronted by a guy called Sting, who is a English guy from, I think they're Yorkshire, up that way, Newcastle even, I think he's from Newcastle. But he's a fantastic composer. You might have heard of The Fields of Gold, You're Walking on the Moon, and he has a massive voice, a really, really cool voice. I will struggle to get there, but tonight, on the 13th, 34 years after hearing this first song ever, I'm going to try and do it. And I want you to bear with me. It may take a few takes. You'll hear them all. And I hope you enjoy this journey to get to the bottom of Sting's soul. The other album that was competing at the time on the Walkmans, the big thing was the boys that were there. I mean, just to put it in perspective, there was like Tongy Gadoni, Crow Carrigan, Ghostly Duggan, Brian Spengloff, Dave Gardner, me, John Mooney, and Kohler, and Mark Cassini is Bert Heller, I think Heller, and great people, and Harry, of course. Fair play to Harry and Jean, and and Heather, the daughter. We had a great time in Exeter in 1987. 'Cause someone told me yesterday that when you throw your love away, you act as if you just don't care. You look as if you're going nowhere or somewhere. But I just can't convince myself I couldn't live with no one else, and I can play that part and sit and nurse my broken heart. 'Cause I'm so lonely, so lonely, lonely, lonely. I feel so lonely, so lonely. Lonely, so lonely, like lonely. Now no one's knocked upon my door for 1,000 years or more, all made up and nowhere to go. Welcome to this one-man show. Just take a seat, they're always free. There's no surprise, no mystery. in this theater that I call my soul. I always played a starring role, 'cause I'm so lonely, so lonely, so lonely, so lonely. Feel so lonely, so lonely, lonely. Feel so lonely, so lonely, lonely. I feel alone, 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 alone. I feel alone, alone, alone. I feel so lonely. I feel alone, alone, alone. I feel alone, 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 alone. I feel lonely. I feel so lonely. Feel so lonely. So lonely. So lonely. Feel so lonely. I feel so lonely. I feel so long, long. I feel low. I feel so low. Feel so low. I feel low. I feel low, 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 low. I feel low. Feel low. Feel so low. Feel so low, feel so low, feel so low, feel so lonely, feel so lonely, feel so lonely, 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 low, feel so low, I feel lonely, feel so lonely, I feel alone, 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 alone. Feel so long, 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 long. I feel alone. Feel so lonely, feel so lonely, feel so lonely. I feel so lonely, 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 long, long. I feel low. I feel so lonely, feel so lonely, feel so lonely, feel so lonely. Same as I don't want to quite. Same key. I feel alone. I feel so lonely. I feel so alone. I feel so lonely. I feel alone. I feel so lonely. I feel alone. Feel so lonely, I feel low. I feel so lonely, lonely. I feel lonely. I feel lonely, feel so lonely, feel so lonely. I feel so lonely, 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 lonely. Feel so lonely, lonely, lonely. So lonely. I remember when we used to sit in the government yard in Trenchtown, observing the hypocrites as they would single with the good people we meet. Good friends we had, oh, good friends we lost along the way. I feel so lonely. I feel so lonely. Feel so lonely. And no woman no cry. No woman no cry. Yeah. No woman no cry. I feel so lonely. Feel so lonely. Well, someone told me. Well, someone told me yesterday. In a government yard in Trenchtown, observing the hypocrites as they would mingle with the good people we meet. Friends we have, good friends we lost along the way. This great future, you can't forget your past, so dry your tears, I say. I feel lonely. I feel so lonely, so lonely, lonely, so lonely. Feel so lonely, 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 lonely. Yeah, you know. I was hoping to get to be able to properly sing la 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 la, but I could feel the neighbours going, is there something wrong next door? You know? Actually, someone's calling me now. See you all later.